Hey everyone, hey, this is Amber. This is Beyond Film School. I'm totally bad at this because I've never gone live before, so bear with me. I wanted to talk about mental health and filmmaking. So I feel like this topic has not been talked about, especially in the age of the pandemic. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't worked in 4 months and 2 days. I'm looking at the date. The last time I worked was March 13th, Friday the 13th, people. Friday the 13th, and it's been tough. And I want to share my story because it is completely frustrating to work in film right now, not have work, be unemployed, be on unemployment, be at the mercy of whatever bill they come out with in Congress or whatever, because that stimulus money is about to run out. In case anyone was wondering, for New York State is running out on July 26th. They say the 31st, but because of New York and how they are doing the payment, I think it's like since we go Sunday to Sunday, it's a bit different. So that stimulus money is running out, and I feel like there's just no light at the end of the tunnel of like them putting that extra $600 on anytime soon in the future. I hope so, but right now it's looking pretty grim. So I know I'm about to get like a huge pay cut as far as unemployment goes. In New York, the best case scenario is that we start back in August. And that is just like, we're at July 15th. 2 more weeks, maybe 2 more weeks. I have no idea. So mental health, right? I think that there are so many things that are just going unsaid for people who are trying to get in the film industry. If nothing's in production, you must be thinking, how the hell am I going to get my career going when nothing's shooting? How am I going to network when I can't see anybody? What can I do? Like, if anyone wants to share their story with me, I am happy to hear you. And I am here for you guys because it's got to be so frustrating to just be out of college or barely finish your film school or whatever program you're in and not be able to jump right in like you wanted to. And this could be for the super ambitious people who are like, oh, I had all these plans and they were ruined. I had lots of plans too, and it just didn't. My plans were a little bit different because I had a job. It was a 10-month job, and I worked on New Amsterdam. For anyone who knows that show, there's some good moments on New Amsterdam. I'm not gonna say it's a bad show. It wasn't my favorite doctor show. My favorite doctor show was The Good Doctor. If there are any Good Doctor fans out there, but and I feel like I am a traitor because I work on one doctor show and I don't like, oh, congrats, Christian. Yes. This sucks though, because so Christian, I have a question. Did you pay the initiation fee? Like, how much was that for you to just join? It's like, that's gotta be such a hard hit. I don't know how much it is for a crew member to join IATSE right now, but I know if I were to join DGA right now, I know a friend who just joined the DGA and she just put like $5,000 down her, her sign up fee for it. Oh, 900 is not that bad. 900 is not that bad. So if you're trying to get in DGA, your sign up fees are crazy high. It's like $7,000, but sometimes you can set up a payment plan and everything's just so in flux. It's horrible. But I was helping on New Amsterdam, doing that for 10 months. And when this whole thing hit, we are all needing a break because 10-month jobs are pretty tough, and you're just ready to be like, all right, I'm done. I'm ready to go on vacation. I had like a 16-day vacation planned. It was supposed to be on a cruise ship, which that wasn't going to happen. And it's been a mess. Let me talk about the cruise ship thing for a second. I saved so much money for this. Me and my husband's supposed to go on vacation. You save so much money, and then all this happens, and we still have not got a refund on that. So I think I got a refund on like one excursion I paid for, and I just got that money back just now. Just like last week, I got this money back. So we're waiting for a big chunk of money to come back in, and that'll help with finances for sure. But man, plans just suck. So now I'm like, how am I going to grow all the side hustles that I have here? But still, I'm at the mercy of unemployment. So I want to hear from, I mean, not just during this live stream. I want to hear, like, if you just have no one else to turn to and you're just like, I don't know who to talk to you about this. I'm completely frustrated. I want people to know that I'm here to talk to you guys. I really am. You can always send me an email at beyondfilmschool@gmail.com. And let me talk about my PA class for a second. My first date for my PA class was supposed to be the end of June. And I pushed it a month. I pushed it to July 26th. And I was like, and we're getting close, right? We're getting super close. It's July 15th. It's in 11 days. And I was like, what am I going to do? You know, I had an almost full class, and then I had people dropping out because, one, they can't get to New York because they're out of state. 2, they are too afraid to be around people. 3, they may not have the money. They wanted a refund, these are all valid reasons, and I can't blame anyone for not wanting to do a PA class. But I guess I'm taking this on faith of what New York is saying to me as far as, you know, we're about to start production in August. And I'm like, I got to figure this out. So I have changed my ideal teaching situation. I usually would do my PA class in one day, an 8-hour course, crash course, try to instill all the information you're going to need to be confident on set. And you're still going to be nervous. Let's just say this. If you're a first-time PA on set, you're going to be nervous no matter what. You're going to be overwhelmed. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe that giant thing is holding this giant light 100 feet in the air. Or I can't believe there's about 100 people on set. I mean, that is pre-pandemic, but people are usually very overwhelmed their first time on set. And I want to give them a little sliver of confidence when they get on set. And that's what I try and provide. And an 8-hour class indoors is just not feasible anymore. There's so many logistics that I had to figure out that just weren't going to work anymore. And I was like, you know what? I can do it. I can figure out, I can problem solve. This is what I do for a living. I am a problem solver by trade. This is what ADs and PAs do. You're a problem solver. If you don't know that, you know that now. You are a problem solver if you're working in the film industry. So I am splitting my class into 2 days, 2 Sundays in a row. So first half's happening on the 26th, second half is happening on August 2nd, and outside. So hopefully it doesn't rain. Standing for 12 plus hours a day sucks the first 2 days. That's it. It does. Yo, I will say this. Christian, you're so great for these comments, first of all. First off, let me say. And this is something I tell all the people who I train or who I'm mentoring, or your first day on set, your legs are going to be in so much pain. They're going to be in so much pain because your muscles are just literally not used to standing that long. And when I get back on set, I know I am in a world of hurt because I've been editing a lot. I have been sitting at a desk. I've been writing blogs. I've been working on my website. So I have not been standing more than like an hour at a time. So I know I'm in a world of hurt. So my PA class has been changed and I've had people drop out, but I still have a few, and I didn't want to let them down. And that's the thing, is that I always hold my PA classes because, you know, people still want to learn, even if it's a big class or a smaller class. And I always keep my classes to 10 people because, you know, I feel like it's more personal, like it's a personal experience. It's like more one-on-one training. You know, I don't want to have a class of like 25 people because then I don't get to know anybody. And from my PA classes, I, you know, try to get to know all the people in my class. So then I know how they will work on set. So it just makes it easier for me to hire them and get them on my sets. So I mean, it can work both ways. I can really like you or really dislike you. But I don't think there's been many people out there that I have like disliked. But I try to do my best to get everyone out there. So what else is happening as far as Beyond Film School, what I'm working on? If you guys have been checking out my community posts, I've been posting about, you know, what department you guys want to learn about. I've made videos on all the ADs, all the PAs out there, all the PA positions, what each person does, and post-production came out on top. Post-production was the one thing that people wanted to learn about because it's like no one talks about what they do. It's very mysterious and no one wants to ask an editor. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to figure this out. I have been a editor for a PR firm. I hated it. I didn't like editing for an agency. I don't like editing any other people's footage. I edit my own stuff, and that's just where I feel comfortable. And this is probably why I feel great as a YouTuber, because it's my own stuff that I'm creating. So I have conducted about 5 interviews with editors so far, and I have learned so much from these people, and I've only just started. I have like 3 more editor interviews. So, I mean, I'm come to find out, like, they have such great advice. I've gotten so much advice as far as, like, you know, if you are trying to be a director, you should be an editor. If you're trying to, there's so many things with editing that can lead you to so many different places. It's amazing. So I'm just learning so much about editing. It's insane. So there's going to be some videos for you guys. And what I'm thinking about doing is some of the things I'm going to be editing as far as videos for you about the editing process and post-production. There'll be shorter snippets of each interview, and then I'll have the full interview available on Patreon. I'm trying to get my Patreon together. I'm not really sure what I want to do with that, because I'm like, I feel like I'm not big enough to be doing Patreon, but who knows? Let's see. Yeah, so Michael, I totally agree with you. At least they're trying to start up in August. Let's see, Arizona, out here in Arizona, we are in oh God, yeah. So all the states have a surge happening right now. It's very, very scary, because New York is just waiting for the second, like, influx of cases. Like, New York is doing pretty good right now, and there's no deaths late, I think, in the past couple of days, and the cases have gone, like, just dropped. So we're very cautious right now as far as the pandemic is going, and all the other states that are just flying high in corona cases right now. I just spoke to an editor that is in Florida, and production's starting to come back there. They're starting to do more commercials, more short films. I have a couple of contacts in California. They're starting to work on set. So even though things are still on the rise with coronavirus, there are still productions that are just, they figured out what to do to stay safe, hopefully. I hope. I mean, no one's talked about, like, how it's been for them on set. I've seen a couple pictures about, they have extra hand washing stations. Everyone's wearing a mask. You're supposed to be socially distancing on set. And I have a video about all the protocols that you should be following if you are on set, because, and as I told my PA class too, and I told them straight up, I was like, this is the plan. This is where you need to be. And you have to have a mask, and you have to have gloves, because if you are working on set, it'd be the exact same. So consider this practice. So I don't really care what anyone's beliefs are, but if you're trying to work in the film industry, know that you're going to have to wear a mask, or you just won't be able to work. And that's just that. I mean, that might not be the ideal situation for some people who want to be, like, they don't believe in wearing a mask or whatever the case may be, but they're going to be super strict about it, at least on union sets. I know that for sure. And editing. Oh, so if there's any other department that you want to learn about, let me know. You can always, feel free to reach out, comments, email me, beyondfilmschool@gmail.com. Obviously, my website, beyondfilmschool.com. The next department I am hitting up is the electrical department. So I have a lot of nice, great, fun people I get to talk to in the electrical department. And I think it's going to be really fun to talk to these people, because they're talkers. Some of the interviews with the editors were, I didn't know any of these people. I just contacted them off this group that I think it's called Ask an Editor on Facebook. And I got so many replies. I was very, very surprised. I just put myself out there. And I was like, hey, who wants to help me make some stuff? And they were like, yes. So I suggest doing the same thing for anyone that is trying to go to the next level. If you feel like, as a creative, and you feel like kind of trapped right now, you have to get your creative flow out some way. And if your way is by filmmaking, it's going to be hard to do that right now. But I would say make what you can with what you have. And that is the number one thing as far as the question that I've asked editors, or any of these interviews I've had with anybody in the industry. How does a person get started? How does a director, how do they get where they are? How do you start being a DP? How do you start as an AD. It's like you start small, you start with a bunch of friends, your phone, and you do with, you make the best of it. And you just like do a 3-minute short, start talking to companies, make a commercial for them, do a couple freebies. If you're looking to, try to get your name out there, you have to start creating your own opportunities and writing your own stuff, making these stupid short films. It could be anything. You could be making a short film about literally anything. It could be like, hey, this little girl wants to get an ice cream, but she doesn't have enough money, and you make a short film about that. It's like, just take the simplest concept and just start making stuff. And you don't even have to do this with anybody. You can be the actor. You can be the camera person. You prop up your camera somewhere. You get a little tripod, like a $10 tripod off Amazon. You can go back and forth. I mean, I did this too. I made a short film where it was just me, and like I had my camera for the first time, and I was like, dude, I have an idea. I'm going to do it. And I did it. I made a 3-minute short, and I loved what I did at the time. I look back at it now, and I'm like, oh my God. But, I went out there, did my own stuff. I acted. I did my own camera work. I edited it by myself. And you can do that too. If you're trying to get ahead, that's what you have to do. And it's a good way to get your creativity out, because a lot of people I've talked to in the industry talk about getting so burnt out. Like, as someone who is creative and I'm on set all the time, like, think about it. Your work week is 60, 70, sometimes 80, 90 hours a week, which is absolutely insane. And I hope that changes in the post-pandemic world. I hope it changes. But you're working so many hours on set, and then I'm thinking to myself, when do I have time to work on Beyond Film School? When do I have time to write, these things I want to write for my websites? It's like, those are creative things that I love doing, and I can't do them if I'm just focused on work all the time. And a lot of people who are editors, directors, they think the same thing. It's like they get stuck in the hamster wheel of making something for someone else, and they don't get to do the things that really satisfy them creatively. So, and I think that really does affect a creative person's mental health. It's like making sure you take time for yourself and making sure that you do the projects that just make it fun again. Oh, thank you, Lucas, for saying my PA series was amazing. I really appreciate that. Hey, you moved from Buffalo. I'm from Buffalo. What? Hey, Buffalo in the house. Just gotta say, I love the fact that someone else is from Buffalo. And there's so many people in the film industry that are from Buffalo. I love it. By the way, if you have not seen the movie Buffaloed, watch this movie, Lucas, and tell me what you think, because, oh my goodness. If anyone's seen that movie, please let me know, because I find it absolutely hilarious, the fact that they mentioned chicken wings like 50 times in this movie. Let's see, moved from small time. It is amazing to get info on where I will be starting in the industry. Do you have any book recommendations? Dude, Lucas, what are you trying to do in the industry? Because my book recommendation might vary depending on what your goal is. Because I love the book Rebel Without a Crew by Robert Rodriguez. He did anything he could to make this movie. Producer. Oh, this is great. I mean, this book is perfect for you because it just talks about like trying to get the money to make his movie. Rebel Without a Crew is an amazing book. That's my number one thing that comes to my head right now. I also have a page on my website that it suggests like product picks. That certain books that I've read and I've learned from myself. As an AD, another book I love is Running the Show by, I think her name is, oh my goodness, her last name is Gill. I know that. Rachel Gill, I believe her name is right, but Running the Show is a really, really good book too. But that's for ADs. That's a good book that I would love for you to read, Rebel Without a Crew. For sure, if you haven't read that, definitely read that. That's just being a filmmaker in general, but he was the director, the producer. He was like the cameraman. He was doing everything himself. So I think that's just a really good book to learn from for sure. Michael, one question I have about the editor segment is this. Since a lot of editing work is in MacCom world, any of your subjects focus on non-narrative entertainment work? So here's the thing, is a lot of the editors I talk to, they don't work in just one world. I've found that they didn't just work on narrative, they didn't just work on documentary, and they didn't just work with commercials. There was one editor I talked to who was working in the film world in the film festival circuit with indie films. And then a lot of his other stuff was just working with agencies and doing commercials. So they were doing all types of work, like working with certain, like any type of company, like anyone that's selling anything, they need a commercial, you know, they need ads. So a lot of that, music videos, documentary series, web series, and all of them talked about narrative work. So it just go like editors, and a lot of them said it like this, because I asked them, like, what do they like working on, or what do they prefer working on? And one editor said, he was like, it doesn't really matter what the content is, it's just I love cutting. And I was just like, dude, that's the best answer. It's like you just love the craft, so sometimes it doesn't really matter what you're putting together. So I hope that answers the question. Oh, the new film studio coming to Buffalo. So that's supposed to be coming out next year, 2021. I told my husband, I was like, you know what? Let's move back to Buffalo because cost of living is super, super low compared to New Jersey and New York City. So I'm just hoping that production companies come there. And I know Buffalo has set up the tax credit, so more productions will go there because it's like cheaper to shoot there. And it's just cheaper vendor-wise, like food-wise. The cost of everything is just a lot lower in Buffalo. I don't know why anyone isn't, like, they should be shooting in Buffalo as far as I'm concerned. Guys, thanks so much for everyone like participating. This is my first time going live, and I'm very, very like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that I'm doing this, because I know the advice is going live. You should just do it more and more often. And I was talking about mental health, and like I'm getting sidetracked. This is great. I really think that Buffalo really is underutilized, and a lot of people that come out of Buffalo always go into film, then they relocate to LA and New York because they feel they have to, because not enough work is in Buffalo, and their goal is always this: I'm going to bring back film work to Buffalo. And it a lot of the times doesn't happen because this, life takes them in other directions. I don't know. It just takes them anywhere else. Oh my goodness. Your sound. Oh, I'm so sorry. I do talk fast. This is like one of my big problems, is that I talk too fast. And I really have tried to slow down when I'm making my videos. So sorry about that, guys. I know I talk too fast. My current niche is working in the commercial and the marketing space. Yeah, marketing commercial is huge for editors. Yeah. Typically as in-house producer, editor, a predator. You're a predator. This terminology, I was like, what the hell is a predator? And I was like, oh yeah, producer, editor. Duh, I had no idea. And they're like, yeah, this is a very common thing in the post-production world. I had no idea. I'm just like, I feel dumb that I didn't know that. But like, I live on set and I had no idea that that's a thing people are asking for now. Since that's pretty much where the paying work is. Yeah, I mean, that's so true. But if you're trying, Michael, are you trying to break into narrative, or do you feel like, I'm just trying to gauge whether you like where you are right now, as far as like, you like being in marketing or you want to get out of marketing? I'm just curious. Let's see, I got Shredder. What the hell is a shooter, editor, producer? Oh my God, dude, I can't even. That just reminds me of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know why. Right? Is that the thing? Right. I'm thinking now. Shredder. Yeah, Shredder. Right? Okay. So yeah, okay. Mental health, being creative. I think that if you are feeling frustrated in this scenario of the pandemic, in just this whole situation, it's like, we don't know what's happening. And I think that's the most frustrating thing, is that we just don't know what is happening. And all we know is that we hope things start back again, and things are coming back slowly. So I guess, I mean, there is some light at the end of the tunnel. But for me, I'm almost like, I want to get back to work. But once I get back to work, I won't have enough time to Beyond Film School stuff and to focus on Beyond Film School. And that really bums me out, to be honest with you, because I really am growing my channel now and I'm really trying to focus on this. And because let's be honest, with almost 6,000 subscribers, I'm not making that much money. I got to get into like the 100,000 to make like serious money. So have you ever experienced, I know you know this, but I wanted to ask, have you ever experienced people telling you there's no work in the industry or you won't make it when you started? Okay, so here's the thing, Amy, that's a really great question because my first class, and I went to University of Buffalo for my first 2 years of college, and I was in media studies. That was the program. And I took film production 101, I think my sophomore year. And my teacher, my professor, she was a grad student, but she was our teacher. And she said, first thing she says to us is, most of you in here, and probably all of you in here, will not make it in film. Like, just take that in for a second. I'm 18, 19 years old, taking one of my first film classes, and this broad has the nerve to say that no one's going to make it in the film industry in the whole class. And there's like 20 of us in this production class, and I'm just like, how dare she say that? And I remembered that. Like, I will always remember that. And that was like a serious driving force for me because I am very stubborn and I'm super, like, I'm determined. I was like, F this. I'm going to prove her wrong. And I have. And the funny thing is now is that I'm like friends with her on Facebook and I won't be like, hey, you remember when you told the whole class X, Y, and Z? But just keep that in. I keep that in. And I'm like, I always remember that. I'm like, I work on union sets. I make a living making movies and, you know, I do different things. And I can't believe that's the first thing this professor says in this film production class. I cannot even believe that she had the nerve to say that. I think, and another thing that was helpful, but also kind of a bummer for me when I first heard it, is one of my mentors who happened to be another film professor of mine. She's a documentarian, and I was in her documentary, you know, filmmaking 101 class or something. And she told me, you know, if you really want to be a DP, don't be an assistant camera. Don't be a second AC. Don't be a first AC. Start being a DP. And I was like, well, I thought that's how you work up the ranks. I thought that's what you do. And she said, yeah, you could do that, but it's going to take a real long time. And I'm like, whoa. I didn't understand what she was saying. And she broke it down like this. You can start as a second AC or a first AC. And you usually sometimes you do work. I mean, I started as a camera, assistant camera, a second assistant camera, and then I moved up to a first assistant camera. But did I make it to DP? No. And that was my first goal. And she said, if you're really, really good second AC, you're going to keep getting second AC jobs. And it's really hard for you to get out of that spot. And in the back of my head, I was like, not me. Not me, because I'm super stubborn. But you know what? And I will say that didn't happen to me because I was a second AC, I think a couple of times. And then I told people who wanted to hire me, and I applied for jobs. And I said, hey, I have been a second AC, but I want to be a first AC. I've been working on, pulling focus. I know how to do it. I need the opportunity. And then someone hired me as a first AC. Like, so it's not impossible, So Michael, you're trying to go to narrative. I do marketing, but want to branch into narrative. Unfortunately, that can't happen in Arizona. Yeah, right now it's really, really hard, but currently working on a micro budget feature script that I can shoot. That is perfect. I think, Michael, you are doing exactly what you need to be doing. I think that's perfect. I'm going to try something. I'm going to put my other, because I'm just talking to my computer. I feel like I want to, maybe you guys will hear me better. Let me know. Because I don't see my meter moving, and it bothers me that I don't see my meter moving. Do you guys hear me better now?
Goodness, I hope so. Okay, so yeah, so Michael, I think that the fact that you are writing a micro short and you're thinking about shooting it, that's perfect. And if you're trying to do narrative work, that is what you need to do. Write something, shoot it, and then edit it. And then you're going to get more. You're going to have something for your website, have something for your reel, and then you're going to get more work that way. Like that's exactly what you need to do. Yeah, exactly. I think you're definitely on the right track, Michael. You have some top quality advertisers that YouTube put on your channel. I wonder about my work ethic, stamina when I get back to work. Is this something you thought about? I definitely have thought about stamina because I feel like let's be completely honest here, because the pandemic, it's like we can't go anywhere. We're not using our legs for anything. I don't know what you guys have been doing, but like I haven't really been, I've been trying to, I had a foot injury and I didn't really baby it when the pandemic first started. I was actually not on set and I ran 100 miles in a month and I didn't pay attention to the injury. So, and I've actually taken off June and July to rest my foot. So when I get back to set, I'm healthy to like stand again and then probably ruin it again. So I have no idea, but I am worried about physical stamina when I get back on set. But here's the thing is I think that they're really considering shorter days. And I haven't confirmed this. People are trying to get shorter days on set. If we have shorter days on set, that'll just make everything so much better. Like for me, that's such a big deal. Shorter days on set are like, I'm waiting for that. I'm like, I'm done working 14, 15, 16, 17 hours on set. I'm just done with it. Like, I just can't. Like, even as a first AD, like your job doesn't, oh man, it's just so, I'm thinking about it now and I haven't been on set in 4 months. I'm like, oh, that's so exhausting. Just like thinking about it. There just has to be a way to get shorter days on set. There just has to be. Let's see. Okay, good. You hear me now. Perfect. Thank you so much. When it comes to people who make music videos, produce, shoot, are they also under the film industry? Yeah. Here's the thing is that like, when I think about the film industry, a lot of people, what they first think about is, narrative or TV shows, right? But see, I think as long as your storytelling is, it could be reality TV, could be documentary, web series, TV, film, music videos, commercials as well, because some people will only work in commercials, and they're in the DGA, they're in the unions, and they only do commercials. So as far as I'm concerned, it all counts. It all counts. PR, advertising counts. You're in the film industry. Sorry. People might argue about that with me, but sorry, it all counts. Sorry. If you are shooting, cutting, editing, producing, I don't care what it is, it's the film industry. Let's see. Thanks for it's crazy out here now, but even before all this, it was not a film-friendly state, like only shooting a few small things in February through May, but I look forward to getting into narrative and getting into more fun spaces in the industry. I think that, and I feel like I've been preaching this for a long time, but maybe not everyone's heard it. There is so much power in creating your own opportunities. And I really, really mean that. If you are ambitious, if you are motivated, and I'm not saying you're not, so let's not get that twisted. I'm not saying you're not motivated, but if you're out there, you're trying to grind, you're trying to get work, build a community of people, start meetups, do film challenges, get a team together, create meetings with people who also you can't be the only person in your city or state that wants to be a filmmaker. I refuse to believe that, because some people have come to me and said, but there's no one around me that wants to be in a film. This is a lie. You're just not looking for the right people. Or maybe start a Facebook group, Arizona Filmmaking. I swear to God, I could look it up right now. There's got to be something. And I feel like I'm getting really emotional here, really passionate, but like, I refuse to believe that there's no one out there in your community that wants to start filmmaking or that wants to do you know, the same things you do. There are people who want to act. There are people who want to write. There are people who want to edit. There are people who want to do this stuff. Like, first, you just have to put it out. Put a post on Facebook. Put it go on Eventbrite. Create something. Even what I'm doing now, and I didn't even know that I was doing this. With all the Zoom interviews that I'm doing, I'm talking to perfect strangers about what they love doing, and they have happily accepted my invitation to talk to me about what they do. And they're like, oh, let me check out your YouTube channel. I'll definitely send your info to so-and-so. And this was a happy accident for me. I'm networking on accident only because I'm trying to create content for you guys. And then they're like, oh, I know this girl who's doing this thing with YouTube and she's talking to editors, but she's an AD in the industry. So it's like networking just happens by accident, and you just like create relationships with people and you don't even know it. Like, just go out there and just put yourself out there. That's all I'm saying, people. Are you worried about finding work with smaller crew sizes coming back from? I had a job lined up and then was kicked because they don't want day players due to COVID. I am worried about that. I will be completely honest, Christian, because here's the thing, is that the set protocols that I have read and all the stuff that I have researched about coming back to set, no one in the States will dare say that they're going to hire less people. But I know it's happening. It's like, come on. And here's the thing, is that people are going to be utilizing their contacts, because right now there is not a lot of work out there. So it's like, it's a dog eat dog right now, unfortunately, because we came from a huge bubble and it finally burst, right? And it took a pandemic to do that, because in New York State, there were so many shows that they're starting to build more studios to compensate those shows that need the studio time and the stage time. So much work. We go from not having enough crew members, or not even enough PAs for that matter. Because I remember, like, you know, if 5 or 6 shows all at the same time shoot a big outdoor scene, that takes a lot of PAs, right? And like, people couldn't find PAs because they're all on some Marvel show or some Amazon show, and we're like, how the hell, we need PAs, and we couldn't find PAs to save our lives, you know? So it's just, right now, people are going with their closest contacts to make sure that they get work. And it's going to be very, very competitive, and I definitely am worried about that. But I'm hoping that someone considers me one of their close contacts. But I'm trying. I mean, I'm trying to stay positive, you know. But I know I'm very practical, and I feel like I'm being realistic about it. So I am worried about it. So, I mean, I feel for you, Christian. I really, really do. Have you ever got the chance to attend a premiere, and can the crew actually attend? Yes. I got to do, okay, so this is not probably what you're talking about. I did a premiere for Mission Impossible, I don't remember what, and I was like the boom operator, and this is when I worked for that PR firm, and we had to like interview all the stars for the premiere. But that was a unique situation, because I remember being so upset with Tom Cruise for speaking so softly. I was so mad that he spoke so softly. But that's outside of what you're asking. But you're talking like, if I was a first AD and the movie premiered, would I be able to go? Yes. Usually, you are invited to those things, as far as I have experienced. I mean, I've always been contacted as far as like any of the indie stuff that I've done. It's always, Amber, we're doing the premiere at such and such. You are more than welcome to come. Your ticket is comped, you know, stuff like that. So I have been able to go to the premiere. And here's the thing is, if you get invited to the premiere, go, because it's fun, it's fancy, you know, and then you get to relive the good experiences, hopefully, that you had with this crew. And it's like, it reinforces relationships, and it's a good networking technique. Let's see, this is community out here, and people are producing stuff year round. The only thing is do some things on the government side, the paying work from the, where do you find these film challenges? Oh, so film challenges, I haven't entered a film challenge in a very, very long time. Only because I just have other things I want to do. I think in the future I will, because I want to maybe produce and direct my own project, because I have like an idea brewing in my head that I'm like, I kind of want to do it. So when we get back to production, I will start researching film challenges. And I literally just go, hey, Google, what film challenges are happening around me? But my go-to usually is the 48-hour film challenge. I know always happens in August in every major city in America for the most part. I'm pretty sure like Chicago, Buffalo, New York, Pittsburgh. What's the other one? What's the other one in Philadelphia? Like they're all over the place. So yeah, I just kind of just do a nice thorough search. And when I say Google search, a lot of people just check the first page and that's it. You gotta like really dig deep. Go to like 5-6 pages in for this Google search, because not everything worth your time is going to show up on the first page. That's all I'm going to say as far as film challenges. And I mean, the film challenge that I did, I wanted to just do something fun. And then all these people signed up, and then I got like 6 movies, and I was kind of upset, and I was like, damn it. But those 5 movies were really good. Just saying. As a result, the majority of the set-based work in AZ has been unpaid things that are pure passion for. So, I mean, that is, I get what you're saying, Michael. I totally get what you're saying, that I mean, when people say the industry doesn't come here, you're talking like big studio movies, right? Which, let's be honest, I mean, big studio movies don't go everywhere, but indie movies that make it are shot in random cities, you know? So you'll be really surprised at what could come your way. I wanna like change your thinking into more positive. Like, don't think can't and won't and don't. Think yes, possibility. And that sounds really Pollyanna, but like, I mean, one person can really change the situation. And I think that a lot of people don't take that into consideration enough. You have a power in yourself to change certain things in your community or whatever. So, or I mean, even if it's not just you can bring people together to change the situation. I mean, I'm sorry that there's not a lot of things happening in Arizona, but I mean, look what Georgia did. They weren't always on top, you know what I mean? Atlanta wasn't always on top, and they changed the game, you know, for the South. So that's just one small example. Like Chicago is the same. You know, Chicago's not always number one, but they always got something going on, but they weren't always like that. And it goes the other way too, because back when film first started, New Jersey was like the film hub, believe it or not. And then once sound was introduced into movies, then all the work went to LA. So like New Jersey just died out. But obviously, you know, New York, New Jersey now have more film work happening here. But let's see. Oh yes, remember to drink water. Yo, for real. Actually, my mouth is getting dry, so thank you very much. Like during these interviews, I've drank so much water, but now I'm like talking. I can't believe I've been doing this for 45 minutes. Thank you all for your questions. If you want to dig deeper, feel free to reach me an email. Happy to hear anything that you want to rant about, vent about. Georgia didn't have nothing there but peaches. In the beginning, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Thank you so much, Michael, for all your comments. And everyone who's joining me on this live stream, I hope to do more. I think I'll end it here because I've been talking for 45 minutes and I can't believe it. And I just want everyone to know that I am here for you, and I will always answer any of your questions. I will hear you out. I will hear you vent and rant, and I will try to help you out as much as possible. And also, if you feel that you're on Facebook or something and you want to reach out to me there, you can do that on my Facebook page. You can find that. What's your opinion on film work in Texas, Houston and Dallas, or southern states? What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Because I know Houston does a lot. Like, I mean, I don't know a lot outside of Georgia, to be honest with you. I don't know what you mean, Amy. If you could elaborate on your question, like my opinion on what exactly? I guess maybe I need you to elaborate on your question. She's asking what your opinion on film work in Texas, Houston and Dallas, or southern states. Thanks, Christian. Thanks for all your things and stuff like that, all your comments and for being involved. Yeah, New Orleans is a big hot spot, but New Orleans is cranking up definitely. And there's so many small like microclimates of film that are happening, you know? So, but I don't know. I mean, I don't have a negative opinion about things shooting in the South. I mean, there's always, I feel like every major city will have a indie or, you know, something like people shoot in Pittsburgh, people shoot in like Tennessee, Smoky Mountains. Like there's so many things shooting everywhere. You just gotta like look out, you know? So I don't have a negative opinion for any of the southern states. Like if you got a film community, like I'm all behind you. If you're shooting things, just do it safely. Yeah, so if anyone is concerned about safety on set, please wear a mask. Please wear gloves. Wash your hands if you don't have gloves on, and socially distance. Those are like the 4 things you just should be doing. Oh, so Amy, so like work opportunities or how frequent work props up films or any production from here. Oh, okay. So you're just saying like the work environment as far as like how much opportunity is there. I'm not sure, but I'll definitely research some things because I know a lot of things are shot in Florida. A lot of things are happening in New Orleans, and there's no reason why it shouldn't be happening in Texas. You know what I mean? I hope that answers your question. Amy, if you send me an email, I'll definitely look into more stuff so I can be like, hey, this is what's happening in Texas or something. You know, just send me an email at beyondfilmschool@gmail.com. And then we can like dig deeper into that. So I'm going to end it here, guys. Thank you so much for watching my first horrible, probably live stream. Oh my goodness. I appreciate everyone that has watched and commented and asked questions. I appreciate it. Oh, I will be doing a another Zoom chat with folks. And the topic that I'm going to cover is how people got started in the film industry. And I know people are always like very curious about how people got started. Now, you guys, if you're my subscribers, you probably know how I got started. And it was, you know, I have a video out there, but I want to bring other people, some of my film friends, and they can talk about what they went through to try and break in and get more film work. So I'm going to post the Facebook event for that, and you guys can join me. I think we're going to do it, oh my goodness, August 6th, I believe. Let me pull up my calendar, my lovely calendar, guys. Yes, I have a calendar that's actually, you know, for me to write down things. I'm a nerd. I actually like to write my plans in like a planner now. Yeah, so August 6th, I'm going to have my next Zoom call at 3 o'clock. And we're going to talk about how we got started. And I'll have, you know, you can always hop on with us or just be a fly on the wall, ask me questions in chat, and then we'll discuss all the trials and tribulations of everyone's getting started stories. So let's see. I'll see you when I can, because life is, life is always happening. I definitely feel for anyone out there who's, I get it. I totally get it. Don't even get me started on life happening with me right now. I will let you guys go. Thank you so much again. And that is it for now. I shall see you guys next time.